It has been a long time since a storm has produced waves as big as 80 to 90 feet around the core of Hurricane Larry, all moving up to the northeast. Hurricane Larry making its long-awaited skirt across the east coast of the United States and then up towards the northern Atlantic. We also got to talk about Mindy. Tropical Storm Mindy formed and is over land as we speak right now. Also coming up, we have a buoy going off in the northeast. You would think this was ahead of Hurricane Larry. Well, guess what? It's not. We had an earthquake that took place just a few hours ago, it seems, that was not picked up by the USGS, but this right here is why you are seeing that buoy in the northeast in event mode. And did you guys hear about this? Imagine being one of these people in British Columbia or having family in an area that gets a report of a 6.5 earthquake that never actually happened. That's right, you're looking at an article from British Columbia saying that the USGS made a computer glitch, accidentally putting out a 6.5 earthquake that never took place. Unbelievable. Here we go. Man, oh man, welcome back, my friends. It is September 9th, 2021, 10:15 a.m., and we got a pretty active Atlantic Ocean, not to mention the Pacific Ocean as well. We're going to work this storm Ulf here, very odd name, into the forecast because it literally seems like Tropical Storm Mindy, Ulf here, and still Hurricane Larry just off the coast now of Bermuda all have something fairly in common. They're all kind of flowing and moving together. I'll break that all down. We have an Invest disturbance number 2 here, 50% chance of cyclone formation over the next 5 days. Long story short, my friends, is hurricane season's not going anywhere. We're going to see the passing of Larry through the northeast, leaving a wave pool like we haven't seen in a long time all over the eastern shorelines. And then as you saw in our Invest chart, we are going to be seeing low pressure systems completely swarming the Atlantic Ocean. We could see that begin right here. Low pressure system, low pressure, low pressure, low pressure. And the reason for that is this chart right here. We've looked at this many times, but I need you guys to understand something. We are at almost the exact peak hurricane season day. We have an overall peak season. Basically, I like to call that from August 20th through October 20th. That includes our second peak after the peak. We'll get into that when the time comes. But September 10th, you can see right here, we are just 1 day away from that date, which is our average peak hurricane season, and for very good reason. Now through specifically the end of September, we are going to see a very, very busy Atlantic Ocean, more than likely through even parts of October. And this is the time of year we see our long, drawn-out traveling storms from the west coast of Africa moving all the way towards the northeast. We've already had a few, and I'll take you through the paths of Mindy and upcoming Nicholas, whether that begins in the Gulf or that forms here on the west coast of Africa, whichever happens first. We will jump right back to that in a minute. We gotta talk about this buoy here in the northeast going off in event mode. Now, most of you would probably think this thing's going off because of Hurricane Larry here, but that's not the case. We are actually dealing with a seismic event that took place in the northeast that's not being reported by the USGS. And we can see that right here. I have this set for 7 days, all magnitudes, and we are not seeing a single thing that would cause that buoy to be disrupted. But if we jump over to the EMSC earthquake website, you could see right here that just yesterday, before the midnight hour, clearly we had an earthquake take place. A 4.0 magnitude, clearly off the northeast coast of the United States. And believe it or not, this earthquake actually took place closer to the coast. So now we have an actual seismic event to explain why we're seeing this buoy go off. And if we click on this buoy, we can see that we had about a 1-minute event take place, water receding and then rising again. So this is going to be an interesting thing to keep an eye on, at least for me. And we are not done with seismic activity because we have a very, very weird story coming out of British Columbia. This was 3 days ago now, but I'm finally doing enough research to really see what's going on here. But you're looking at the title correctly. Computer glitch leads to false report about earthquake. A 6.5 earthquake. This was no small mistake. And one thing you will not find is this earthquake on the USGS. Keep in mind, this is the same area in which we're having these quote-unquote ice quakes that we have also reported on here in the channel. And keep in mind, we just had a 7.0 earthquake take place in Acapulco, Mexico, just 1 day after a false 6.5 earthquake takes place in British Columbia. So we're talking about the same western coastline of North America getting 2 major quakes, one reportedly not real and the other very real. That alone alone should really be getting you to question something and ask yourself what's going on here, because you are looking at that report, the 6.5 earthquake that took place in British Columbia. We are here on volcanodiscovery.com, and what really makes this interesting are the user reports. This, of course, taking place on September 6th at 2117 UTC, depth 15 kilometers, very shallow for a large quake. And please keep in mind the 7.0 Mexico earthquake took place after this. So here we have it. We have an actual area for this seismic event. We can see all the different user reports that reported either feeling this or not feeling it. And after reading the news article saying that this was a computer glitch, coming over here and reading some of these reports is very interesting, because a lot of these people are claiming they have felt something. There were over 100 reports sent in, whether they felt it or not. I'm going to leave the link in the description box for those of you that want to come check out the actual report that came out that was saved before it was updated by the USGS. But I want to point something out specific in this article before we finish up with the storms. The first thing they want you to know very quickly is that the automated system that is used for predicting these earthquakes isn't perfect. This is not something that happens every day, not to mention 24 hours we had a major 7.0 earthquake on the same coastline. Yes, thousands of miles away, but still too close for comfort. All right, and I'm going to keep updated on all that stuff to keep you guys updated as well, but we got to look at our 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook chart. There's the mouthful, and we've got 2 different disturbances we're watching. We also have tropical depression Mindy now over Florida and Atlanta, blowing up as a tropical storm last night, moving into today, and we also have Hurricane Larry off the coast of Bermuda. We're not going to forget the Pacific Ocean either, but look at this giant mess. I'm going to go ahead and stop this right here, and I'm going to point out a few things as we back this up, because we're going to do this in a way that we can actually respect what we're seeing here, because it's pretty incredible. We'll back up to the end. First of all, I don't know if I've mentioned, but Hurricane Larry had one of the biggest eye walls we've ever seen in a hurricane. I have a whole separate video we're going to do on that together. We had a 120-mile eye wall with major Hurricane Larry. What I want you guys to check out is basically our overland nor'easter that cut through Ontario and parts of Canada as the low pressure system was right here. And look at this giant tail. Unbelievable storm front we have right here. And this is why Mindy and Larry are both being forced to the east coast of the United States and not moving along the warm water belt into the Gulf. This is a clear-cut example of our jet stream doing awesome things, but I also want you to notice that this entire system, low pressure system here with a long tail down here, is actually connected to a system in Mexico, which is then connected to the hurricane forming in the Pacific Ocean. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play here, and you're going to see all these things interacting with each other. Larry, Mindy, tropical storm / hurricane Ulf, and then the low pressure system pulling this all up into the northeast. It's just an amazing thing to see working out in front of your eyes. This is also why we are seeing the insane wave pool being generated by Larry and moving up to the northeast. It's going to be a long few days for the coastal areas, that is for sure. And you guys are going to see exactly once again why peak hurricane season is named peak hurricane season, because we got a lot more letters to go through in a short period of time. I once again apologize for covering all these different topics in one video, but it's just too much to not cover, and I know you guys enjoy this stuff. I'm going to be back later on this afternoon or tomorrow morning as we cover the Atlantic Ocean and whatever else goes on. I have some cool stuff from Antarctica coming that's going to blow your minds. Shout out to Canada. I appreciate each and every one of you. Any comments or concerns, please leave down below, and I will talk to you all very soon. Thank you all very much. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all, and you will get all notifications from this channel, and trust me, you won't be disappointed.